Dynamic, bold, edgy. This muscular design features an aggressive stance and a sleek profile, resulting in a powerful road presence that screams speed, even at a standstill, which is great and all, but can it outrun a building?
Just to start from the beginning, for the people who managed to miss what the Split Second is, what's the concept behind?
The concept behind Split Second is it's an arcade action racing game where the reality TV show universe it's set in is like a massive budget soundstage that's rigged with dynamic environment effects and stuff that the racers, as they go through it, can trigger remotely from their cars. So that's the kind of idea behind it.
So you told us here before, but might as well, because it was an interesting story. How did you reach this concept in the first place?
The concept goes way back for Split Second to PlayStation 2 and Xbox days, and we kind of thought it would be cool to make a racing game where you could control the track and change the shape of the track and make every lap different. The opportunity never came up to make it, so when we hit 360 PS3 generation and we kind of had started making Pure, then our concept team kind of looked back at the concept and said, "No, this would be good. Time's right to do this now." So the team set about making a proof of concept build and showing that to Disney Interactive to prove that the idea was fun. It was definitely fun. We had 8-player network games going pretty quickly, and that's really where Split Second came from.
Looking at there's a lot of destruction, obviously, and you change the shape of the track as you go. Is all the destruction linear, or is it how dynamic is it?
There's dynamic elements to it because you've got a physics engine, you know, running in parallel with everything. But there's a point where you need to kind of learn the power plays and learn the way the track's going to evolve. Kind of like any racing game, really. The way that you learn a corner, it's just in Split Second it moves around, but variable really. Some of the power plays will be kind of they play out and you learn the way that they work to get better at them. Other ones, it's kind of using the handling and the feeling of the car to get the best out of the handling against the physics. Drifting against shock waves, which we've been doing today, everyone kind of got their head around that. So it's a mixture, really. It's a mixture of learning the way that the tracks evolve and learning the handling to handle the car.
So we've seen destruction in racing games before, but usually that's centered around the cars themselves. They blow up and various forms of destructible cars. But how do you balance the track itself? How much work is it just to get every little variable that can happen during the match? How do you get that right?
Okay, it's a lot of work. Split Second's got a big environment team. Part of that team is the visual effects team, which is huge. There's no doubt, you know, that's got to be the biggest visual effects team that's been on a racing game to date, and much more like an action game in terms of the way that they're putting their environments together. Balancing it kind of, the tracks they're made very differently from anything we've made before as a racing studio, and that's 10 years of making racing games, and Split Second's been kind of reinventing the whole way we do that. We start with the route changer. And the route changer dictates how long the run-up needs to be to activate it and to get it to change and stuff. So once you've got the route changers in place, that kind of gives you a kind of idea for the track layout. And once the track's laid out, then the power plays evolve. Some pretty cool power play sort of brainstorm meetings that lead up to all the things that will happen. But it's a very different thing to making any racing game we've done before, and in terms of balancing it, lots of prototyping and lots of testing, loads of gameplay testing before something goes right through to being made a full VFX power play.
There's another balance thing that I thought about, but never really, we had an opportunity to play it before, but never really came into play. But Considering that you remotely detonate things in the environment, and you can well, knock out your enemies from the track and wreck their cars. Looking at other more arcadey games or racing games, like for example, and this is going to be in a completely different genre almost, is Mario Kart. Because what happens in Mario Kart, usually what they've done is that if you're in the lead, you're usually punished very hard with up to, I don't know how many cars are in how you balance that the guy at the front doesn't get punished over and over and again.
If you're in the front, then you can still earn power. You're not going to get so much from drafting because there's no one in front of you to draft, but still you can jump, you can drift, you can do near misses, particularly more near misses because people will be triggering power plays on you. And then there's ways to use power plays to cause more disruption behind you. So a power play that could be a shortcut can kind of be turned into like a rear firing power play by opening a shortcut really early, just in time for you to get through, and then shut it down behind you. Can cause as much trouble to the guys behind, but you're in first place, so you've got a target on your back. Everyone's going for you. So you need to play the game to experience that. You can. The best place you want to be is first place. But yeah, the dynamics are, there's a lot of stuff that can happen to you there. But I'm big fans of Mario Kart. It's good fun. It's a very, very different experience to Split Second.
Yeah. What can we expect in multiplayer?
Multiplayer, well, that's, like I was saying with Proof of Concept, that's where Split Second was born, really. 8-player multiplayer was the first thing we got up and running to prove it was fun. It's fun, definitely. And the multiplayer's gone on all the way through to every day. Today, 5 o'clock, Blackrock will be multiplayer game. So we got 8-player online, and it's split screen as well, vertical, horizontal split screen, which is something that we didn't get into pure, and a lot of Blackrock fans kind of said, look guys, we'd really love to have had split screen on pure. And Split Second's kind of, it just had to have split screen, so that's something that we've got working, and it's as cool as we'd hoped it would be. It's very fun.
Just to well, more or less a final question. When we look at the all the tech that's going on with all the physics, as you mentioned that it's a Havoc engine running, all the special effects and the car moving as fast as it actually do. How much work have you put into the engine? How smooth will it be, do you think, when the final product's released?
It'll be rock solid, 30 frames per second, which was our idea at the outset. We tested what we could do at 30, what we could do at 60, and the game works beautifully at 30. And it's the optimization crew do some very, very clever stuff that I think is going to be kind of like a lot talked about. Yeah, 8 cars going through giant route change power plays with tens of thousands of particles going off all at once, and deferred shader lighting and everything, and it holds solid. So optimization crew done a good job. Split Second's working the PS3 and 360 as hard as I think anything ever has.